Serving home cooking, Jack's Barcelona Drive-In, 8249 First Street, Westfield. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner by beautiful Lake Erie in a summer cottage atmosphere with local wines and beers available. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Bella Salon and Day Spa, located at 41 West Main Street in Northeast Pennsylvania, proudly supports Chautauqua Sunrise and its volunteers. More information at bellasalonanddayspa.net. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District, with a local office in Olean. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. From the Access Channel 5 studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Channel 5. Continuing the traditions of Senior Report, we are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week, countywide, from 9 to 10 a.m. Join us by calling in live, emailing us, or checking out our social media. And now, from the Channel 5 studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Everyone, and what a great weekend! The sun's shining, and today I will be able to... Where did I go? I'm disappearing. I was able to get frostbite and a sunburn all in the same day. It was 34 degrees this morning on the hill where I live.
Sunrise.
And there I go again. Thank you, Jeff, for that little extra interlude. What's going on? We got gremlins in there. Anyways, it's a day you can start out at 34 degrees and whatever it is, and it's supposed to be in the 70s or something like that. So I want to welcome all the folks to Chautauqua Institution and all the folks that have come back to the lake for the summer. I know a lot of you watched the show, and we want to welcome you back to Chautauqua Sunrise. We're closing in on 1 year of broadcast, and we're just so happy that we're growing. And I especially want to welcome Jack's Barcelona Drive-In. They are our newest sponsor, our newest underwriter here at the show, and Julie Travis is just a wonderful lady and has great food. And if you haven't had a chance to get down to Barcelona, you go, where's Barcelona? It's not Spain. Correct. It's if you go into Westfield and you just head right down to the lake, there's a beautiful little cottage-like setting, and there's a diner there, and you got a patio and great, beautiful, colorful umbrellas and all that sort of thing. And so she just signed on with us into the winter, up until winter, and then again in the spring. So anyways, Julie and Jack's Barcelona Drive-In, we're so happy to have you here. Also, big announcement. I've been talking to you about WRFA and our affiliation with them. They're underwriters, Dennis, Drew, and the crew. And we will begin to be broadcast on their radio station. It'll be a rebroadcast. It won't be live, but it'll be taped starting on June 2nd at 1 o'clock every single week. Chautauqua Sunrise will be on the radio. How cool is that? Dennis and I are tying in the county, and now if I can just get some people up in the northern part of the county, we'll have a big triangle. We'll have east, west, and north, and south, and we'll be all set. So anyways, we're doing our best to wrap up the entire county. All right. Got a lot of things to share with you today, and we got a couple of great guests that we're going to get to in a little bit. But let's first start out with what? Let's talk about Memorial Day a little bit. When Reed and I worked together on the Senior Report, a lot of times when I came on and did my little piece, I would come in with some absolute trivial information that no one knew but me, and I would go out on the internet and find this stuff. But I wanted to share this with you, and I wanted to challenge parents and grandparents or whomever to talk to our kids a little bit about Memorial Day. Memorial Day, to me, kind of is like the holidays. It just becomes something we do, but we don't think about it. It's sort of like an automatic reflex that, oh, it's Memorial Day. We have picnics. We go to grandma's house, or we go camping or something like that. But we don't really focus on what's the meaning of it. There's a small core group of people that will go to cemeteries and put flags up. There's a small core group of people that will get together on Memorial Day and have a special service and so forth. But I would say 99% of the people nowadays don't really pay attention to what it is. So I just wanted to share a little information that I pulled off the internet here. When I was growing up, and I didn't realize when this was all happening when I was growing up, but we never called it Memorial Day. Randy, do you know what we used to call it? Decoration Day, that's right. And when it became Memorial Day, I'm going like, is that a new holiday? So anyways, the preferred name for the holiday gradually changed from Decoration Day to Memorial Day. And this all started in 1882, the Decoration Day. It goes back to ancient days, probably the Greeks and the Romans, where they would decorate the graves of their fallen soldiers. But here in the United States, it really started back in during the Civil War, but not really until 1882. And then it didn't become common now, like an everyday practice, until after World War II. So this really isn't a really old custom as far as the United States go, and it wasn't declared official by federal law until 1967. Who knew? On June 28, 1968, the Congress passed the Uniform Monday Holiday Act, which moved 4 holidays, including Memorial Day, from their traditional dates to a specified Monday in order to create a convenient 3-day weekend. Forever, when I was a kid, Memorial Day was May 30th. It was the day before my dad's birthday, which is coming up on May 31st. And so forever, I couldn't remember if my dad's birthday was the 30th or the 31st, because the 2 days were always interchanged, and we celebrated both. The change moved Memorial Day from its traditional May 30th date to the last Monday in May. The law took effect at the federal level in 1971. So again, that's not all that long ago. And after some initial confusion as usual and unwillingness to comply, all 50 states finally adopted the congressional law within a few years. So this is a relatively modern holiday. And so here's my challenge to folks, is to take your kids or your grandkids to a memorial service, Memorial Day, I can't say it, Memorial Day service on Monday. And what I'd like you to do is, if you can, take them, you don't have to stay like for the whole thing, because sometimes they have long-winded speakers, but be there for the part where they put the wreath down in memory of the fallen soldiers and sailors and Marines and so forth. Be there when they do the 21-gun salute, and be there so the hair stands up on your neck and your children's arms when they play taps. And if that doesn't remind you of what it's all about, and if that doesn't bring home to your children the importance of what has gone on for hundreds of years in this country, I got nothing else for you. Okay? So I challenge you, get out there and participate in this service. It's an hour. I know you might have some family festivities, but generally around 11 o'clock they do a lot of these things. And I keep forgetting about this part. If you have a flag that you can raise or lower, you're supposed to have that flag raised half-staff till noon in memory of fallen our soldiers and so forth. And then at noon, then you raise it to full staff. Okay? So anyways, that's my little thought on the day on Memorial Day, and I hope that you get out and participate. In Ripley, we do have a great organization there, and they're going to be at the cemetery. Little known fact, I've actually given 2 Memorial Day speeches. I know it doesn't seem like I would. And one of the speeches I gave to this day, and people do comment from time to time, and it was kind of a strange speech I gave, was I told the audience what it was like not to be in the Vietnam War. And we think, what are you talking about? What I was talking about, we always hear about the soldier side of it, but how difficult it was for people back here, and the misinformation that we had, and how many of us were like turning on the Army and the Navy because of the false information we were given. And so I kind of like told the rest of the story, and I think the soldiers were in tears when I was telling the story, and young people came up to me and says, thanks for letting us know, because we didn't realize how we were pitted against each other when really we were all in one spirit, but we were told a lot of lies. And I see my guests shaking their head right now. They know I'm right on that. So anyway, so that was a very moving speech I had given that day, and to this day I still am proud of the fact that I was able, after so many years, to thank our Vietnam veterans for the work they did and the service they gave and the lives they lost, and the fact that we weren't against them. We were basically misled, and to thank them, once and for all. And I know that the Vietnam veterans are sort of like the forgotten folks, but we're not forgetting you guys, so well done. And hats off to those for Korea and World War II, Afghanistan, and so on. So enough on that. So let's see what else we got going on here. I got lots of things to share with you. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to start with the slides that the guys have for me here, and then I'll go into anything else that I might have. So let's start off. Father-daughter dance. Man, my daughter and I would love to have done this, and we've done fun things like this. And I have a daughter named Stephanie, and we do a lot of fun things together. And sometimes we go out on father-daughter dates, especially just a night out to go to the movies or whatever. And she's over 30. I mean, it's not like she's a little 5-year-old anymore. Father-daughter dance, Saturday, May 30th, coming up at the YWCA in Westfield. Okay, there's all the information, and check it out, dads. Daughters, if you're watching, bug your dads. Okay, next, we've got the Shred Fest. If you don't know what this is where you're bringing all those things that you've been hiding in those closets, in the basement, in those big plastic bins that you say you'll get to in a couple years that you never do. Bag them, box them, whatever you want. Bring them to the Westfield High School parking lot on the 30th of May, and for $10 they're going to shred all those personal archived papers that you don't need anymore, and all those bank slips and all that stuff that you've been saving in case the IRS comes to raid your house. Okay, now I got this next picture. Da-da-da. Last week I just sat here going like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. They didn't have any narrative for me. This is something that's going on from now till Labor Day. There's going to be a special bicycle raffle for the Bemis Point Library. And it's a study club raffle, 1 ticket $1 or 6 tickets for $5, drawing to be held Labor Day weekend. And so that's coming up. That's kind of fun. They paint bikes, Randy. And if you look in the background behind us later, you'll see a picture of one of the bikes that they raffled off last year. Okay, moving right along. A new one, June 6th. We've got a gift and gun raffle. I have no idea what you would be getting as a gift, maybe the bullets. That's coming up on June 6th from 1 to 5 at the Moose Club Lodge over in Westfield. And our friends were just here a couple weeks ago. And Randy did a bang-up job being my host. So anyways, that's coming up from 1 to 5. And also, I might add that if you have an event or something, a fundraiser going on in the area, let us know. We'll talk about it. Give a poster, email to us, or email to me, or whatever. Get it to us, and we'll be more than happy to announce that. Okay, on June 12th, we have something coming up, Child Advocacy Program, which I am hot on. And as many of you know, a big sponsor of this, and I've had the training, and I emceed their Diamond Dinner extravaganza this year, Chautauqua Institution at the Athenaeum. I like to say that word. June 12th, they have their grand opening of their office in Fredonia, Dunkirk, and that's at 40 East Main Street in Fredonia from 2 to 4. And the reason why we mention this is because if you have some issues, your child has some issues, if you find that there's some abuse going on, get them down there and talk to them as fast as you can, because they're there to help, and the team is awesome. All kinds of folks working with you. June 13th, the Dash and Bash at the Children's Safety Education Village. Now, don't laugh, all right? I did the 1K last year. I came in second place because some guy ran it at the last 5 feet. But I was leading the whole race, Randy. I was awesome. I had my stride going. I was breaking a sweat. All right? The reason why I do the 1K instead of the 5K, because I got to be here. And the 1K starts, I think at 11, and there's all the information. But look at the bike tour. Jeff and Galen and Randy, your bike tour, guys. They got like a 42-mile ride, and then there's a a heart stopper, and I think a 27-mile bike tour. The guys had a great time last year. Then they're going to have refreshments and all that afterwards. So I guess they're going to have some music and all that stuff. That's at the Children's Safety Village, another one of the great projects here in Chautauqua County. If you want for more information, call Terry Kinberg. Woo! I'm still halfway going through this. Infinity Visual and Performing Arts will be hosting the June installment of Pulse Poetry Slam on Saturday, June 13th at 6:30 p.m. Now, we always talk about the music side of it, but they do poetry and dance and all kinds of stuff. The installation of the event will celebrate the 1-year anniversary of its founding and will feature both poetry and live music. This event is free, family-friendly, and open to the public. Performance poetry is an excellent way to express creativity while practicing performance and public speaking. Poets and audience members, welcome. Our good friends at Infinity, great program, and as all of you know, we've talked about Infinity for a long time now, and my good friend Shane Hawkins is the director down there, and they're doing great things with kids. And once again, if Infinity was around, I went to Infinity, I'd be a rock god today. I'm just like I'm a minor god. There's a free outdoor Memorial Day weekend concert at Arundel. We debate how to say that, but I'll say Arundel Cellars and Brewing Company, featuring the Heliotropes, the local Erie group that will be performing on Sunday, May 24th. That's like tomorrow, from 3 to 6. May 23rd and 25th, moving right along, is the Crossroads Farm and Craft Market Memorial Day countywide yard sale. That's all one word. Free setup. If you have stuff to go to the yard sale, go up to Crossroads. There's a chicken barbecue presented by the Brockton American Legion, Post 434, and the proceeds fund the Legion's community activities. Another great organization. So if you want chicken, go there. If you want to sell your stuff, go there. If you want to do both, go there. Crossroads Farm and Craft Market would like to announce, this is new, that last weekend's Saturday raised $700 for Lily's Hope. Lily's Hope is located at the YWCA Cancer Treatment Center at Jones Memorial Hospital in Jamestown. It is a resource for women who live or are going through cancer treatment in Chautauqua County. What a great program. Where they can get a wig, hat, scarf, and or accessories free of charge. If you know of a woman who could benefit from Lily's Hope, have her call the Cancer Treatment Center for an appointment at 664-8670. And my mom had cancer. Thankfully, she survived for like 35 years afterwards and didn't need a lot of this stuff. But there are things the accessories that our ladies do need after certain types of cancer. So don't be shy. Give them a call. I'll give you that number again. Lily's Hope, 664-8670. The ferry is now open for the season. And Captain Randy, are you there? No. He's retired. They finally gave him his retirement papers, and he doesn't have to be there anymore. But the ferry is now open, and it's lots of fun. Come ride any Friday, Saturday, and Sunday until Labor Day. Now, I think I got one or two more quick things, and then we're going to take a break and get to our guest. Woo-wee! The Office of the Aging, Dr. Marianne Spanos, was on last week, and she wanted me to remind all seniors of the following information: that there will be an aging symposium, and this will be held Wednesday, June 3rd. We'll talk about it again next week. On June 3rd from 8:30 to 1:30 at Park United Methodist Church in Sinclairville. Registration starts at 8:30. Now listen to these topics, folks. These are really important. Nutrition. They're going to be talking about the SNAP program, which is like food stamps, but you're all eligible for it. Go get them. Get your stuff. Caregiver support, respite, legal services, elder abuse, exercise and wellness, Tai Chi. We did that here one day. Also, later in the morning, they'll have something on health insurance counseling. Huge issue. Get out there and find out about it. HEAP. A lot of people get HEAP. Don't be bashful. It pays for your gas bills during the wintertime. It's an awesome program. I have relatives that use that. Weatherization, home repair, transportation. There's something there. I have no idea what that means. Personal emergency response systems, senior employment, home care, New York Connects, and so forth. And then they're going to have a guest speaker, Cheryl Wallstrom. She's a registered dietitian, and she's going to talk to you about hot nutritional topics. I know Linda Spalding's watching the show. She does every Saturday. I'm sure she's going to call in later and tell us more. Let me just check my list here. Okay, my own little plug for myself. I'm now part of something, you're going to love this one, called the Barcelona Blues Band, and Rick Mascaro, who was on the show, and a few other folks. We put together a group. I'm the main guitarist. I'm not singing right now. This is really fun. I get to sit back and be B.B. King or whomever, and we're going to be performing, I think, at all the first Fridays and the Ox Roast in Westfield coming up starting in the first part of June, the first Friday in June. So anyways, Barcelona Blues Band, keep that in mind. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. This is for you.
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
And we're back. Okay, I just want to preface the introduction of my guest this morning in this way. I've lived in Chautauqua County now for like, I don't know, 40 years or something like that, and probably even more. I have to do the math. No, it's 41 years. And I am always impressed with the fact that we have an unbelievable selection of arts and music and dance and bands and orchestras, Chautauqua Institution, the Art Trail. We are just full of good stuff. And I've already had some musicians, famous musicians on the show, and I thought, well, you know, there's another side of the music world, and I invited Sandy Raynor to come on today, who we gave her the title of talent scout, but really you're a booking agent.
I am a booking agent, yes.
And you brought in one of your pals here, Stephanie Stanford, who's we're going to have her on here in a little bit. But we're going to start with you, Sandy, okay?
Okay, sure.
Sandy, you have the title of booking agent, and that just sort of sounds kind of blah. So I thought, talent agent of the stars. That sounds cool.
That's what I think I do.
I think you do.
I think I book a lot of stars in my eyes.
In the old days, some people thought of booking agents in a negative way. They thought they were bloodsuckers and they abused their look at Elvis and all those. That world's changed, and I know that. So hopefully you're one of the good people. I'm sure you are.
I am a good people, but you know what? There's still a negative side out there to booking agents, and I didn't find that out until I started booking bands.
Surprise!
Yeah, surprise. Venues said, when I would go to Columbia, they said, oh, we don't work with booking agents. We don't want to work with you. And I'm like, really? I couldn't understand that. It was like really foreign to me. It really was.
Well, we'll get back to that in a minute. But tell us a little bit about yourself. We found this really interesting connection. All three of us are connected to Ripley. It's just like, who knew?
Who knew?
So you were born and raised?
I was born and raised in Ripley until I was in 7th grade, and then I moved to Mayville. Okay. Graduated from Mayville.
And that's where you met Jeff. So.
And graduated with Jeff Zook, which is,
we all want to know, did he ever have hair?
He did have hair.
Okay.
He did have hair. A lot of hair, yes. Only good things about my classmates. All good stuff.
Okay.
This is our 40th class reunion, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so you're in Mayville, and then what did you do from there? The parts you want to tell about.
Oh, my gosh. I've been in sales my whole life. I've worked in retail. I owned a grocery store with my ex-husband. Then it just transpired. I was a travel agent for a while.
Really? Oh,
and
wow.
then my last effort was, not effort, but job that I really liked was radio. I sold radio advertising, which I would tell everybody. I said, what do you do for a living? I said, I sell air. And they were like, air? Like you sell tires? And I'm like, no, I said I sell air. And I'm telling you, if you can sell radio advertising, you can sell anything.
Yeah. Well, you were at the station that I did a lot of work with, Dennis Webster, and I just loved it.
Oh, he's a great guy. I worked with a lot of wonderful people at SC93 WJTN. I've got to give a shout out to them because they were like family. They were like absolutely.
And Dennis is still going. I mean, that
Dennis,
guy. I think he was born there.
Yeah. And what about Jim Roselli?
Yeah, Jim. Yeah.
He's still going.
There's a story I could tell you, but I won't tell you about it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you later. But he set me up. Oh my God, he set me up on the radio one day. He's a crazy man. Okay, so how did you get into being the talent agent of the stars, the booking agent?
That's interesting. Everybody always asks me that. I became ill when I was in, I think it was like 2008, I can't remember, 2008, with heart problems, and I no longer sold radio, and I was looking for something to do, wasn't sure what I was going to do, and I saw somebody on Facebook said they were looking for someone to book them. And I thought, and I'd worked with a couple bands at marketing when I sold radio, because I really liked that marketing aspect of it. So I thought, well, if I can sell air, I can sell. I can
You can sell
a
noise.
musician. Yeah, and I love music. And I love musicians, so I thought I can do that. So I called the person and said, "I'd really like to book you." You know, and I knew they were on Chautauqua Lake Idol, and so it started. And I just started, you know, booking and. And it was hard. It was really hard because in sales you either you cold call or you have clients and you go talk to them, and it came really easy to me. But when I started going out to sell musicians, I kept getting no, we don't work with you. We only want to work with musicians, and I was like shocked. It was like I was totally shocked, and I thought, why don't they want to work with me? You know, and I'm easy. I'm not in your face sell. I'm laid back. Everybody that knows me, that's been my client, they know I'm laid back. I'm easy, and I couldn't understand why they didn't want to book, because I'm representing like really good people, and they don't have time to. A lot of them don't have time to book themselves, where I do have the time to book themselves or book them. So I had to overcome that, and I kept pursuing because I'm really stubborn sometimes. I've always been an advocate for my product. Every client that I had, I was always an advocate, and the people that know me, that were my clients, know that. And I was an advocate for music, and music had been missing out of my life for a long time. And so I was happy to have it back in my life. And I was going through a tough time at that time in my life, and I like to say that it kind of saved me.
It can heal you.
It healed me. It absolutely healed me. And at that time, that's what I needed in my life. My boys didn't live around here. I was by myself, and the musicians didn't know that at the time. Sure. They just thought that I was. And then another band. I get off topic, but another band came to me, and another band came to me, and another. It was just word of mouth. I don't have a website, and I just got to be friends with some of the venue owners because I'm not hard sell, and I work. The thing that was interesting for me is that I work for the venues also, and not just. I don't come in just saying, "Hey, I just work for the musicians." I also work for I work for both of them and try to bring them together, work on price, work on the music, whatever they want to do. And so I also support the venues. I eat there, I drink there, I talk about them, just like I do the musicians. I support them wholeheartedly. Yeah. And I felt there was a part of this area that was missing for live music.
Why is that? We talked a little bit about it earlier.
Know, I'm shocked because I'm a girl of the 70s, and at that time there was no DWIs. There were like times were easier then, and we followed music everywhere. And I saw something on Facebook yesterday, the Surf Club.
Oh, sure.
And
I saw your
Surf
picture.
Club was our hangout.
Yeah.
I mean, Junie was the man, and when you wanted to hear a live band from Buffalo or from traveling through, that was the place to go, you know. And it was you want to talk wall to wall people. It was wall to wall. You couldn't even get in, and that was a happening place to go. And there were other places. There was the Garage in Westfield. We talked about, I think it was called a place in Jamestown called 2000 or 2001 or Dynasty. We were just talking a couple weeks ago about these places that I had forgotten about. And it's really sad. So I jumped on the bandwagon, and I really enjoyed what I'm doing. It's music, it's selling, but it's also supporting the area, supporting the restaurants, the bars, the clubs, because I think people have missed that. But people don't go out anymore. In the 70s, we went out.
All the time?
We went out all the time. And people don't go out anymore. I think they stay home because of the DWIs, and that's the hard part, you know.
And the part that's always been stuck in my craw, and I know other musicians feel this way, and it's not, I'm not slamming anybody now, but the guys that came out, there were the disc jockeys and the sound guys. They came out with at the time, their 8-tracks or their CDs or whatever, and because of the DWI laws, it was this transition from we can't afford the big band, so we'll bring in these other guys for half the price, and because we have smaller crowds now, and the disc jockeys took over. And I will say, in their defense, the disc jockeys, some of them are fabulous entertainers, and other guys don't know what they're doing. They get the songs all goofed up and that. But on that note, you're watching Chautauqua Sunrise. My guests are Sandy Raynor, town's agent of the Stars, and Stephanie Stanford, who you haven't met yet. We will shortly. And if you have a question for me, us, an announcement, whatever, call us 753-5225. Stephanie, I can talk fast.
Yes, you can.
Okay, so, but do call in. All right, so how many bands do you have?
I can call on about 15, 16 bands, I'm proud to say. And I started out with a solo musician and one 3-piece band when I first started.
Wow.
And I've been doing this for about 4 years now.
Okay, let's get to Stephanie. You dragged her here. She wasn't even supposed to be on the show. I got to tell them, no, can I bring Stephanie with me? Yeah, you know, sure, as long as she behaves herself.
I'll try.
I know drummers, so my cousin was a drummer too.
I'll try.
They're wild and woolly. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I understand it's a special day.
Yeah, it's my birthday today.
So you're like 22 or something?
Yes, I am again. Again.
We always say we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of our 30th birthday. Hold on a second. We got a phone call already. Good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning. This is Jim Scriven.
Jim? He's my.
Yeah.
We're playing in the same band.
Awesome.
Well, listen, I know. I've got a little known secret for you.
What?
That is, Sandy can actually sing, and she should join the Barcelona Blues Band.
Awesome!
Yes!
You can sing?
No. I only think I can sing.
Do you know?
I used to sing.
Do you know?
She can. I think she's working on
I
Don't
do.
Stop.
I do know, Jim. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Sandy. How are you? I'm watching
Good.
you on television.
Welcome back to welcome back to the cold weather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say hi to Stephanie. She doesn't know me, but we'll meet sometime.
Leave it that way. Jim's a great musician.
He's a great musician.
He's covering all the bass work this year, and I'm playing guitar. And Jim's a great guitarist.
I know Jim very well.
He was very gracious to let me sit.
Well, listen, I'm going to hang up here and watch you guys perform here. So
thanks, Jim.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so Stephanie, how do you know this lady?
Well, Sandy's our booking agent. I'm in a band called Easy Street.
Okay.
We're a rock and country band, and she books us all over Chautauqua County, along with other places. But our main interest is in Chautauqua County, and she does a fantastic job for us.
And you're the drummer.
I am the drummer. Yes, that's what they call me.
According to your talent agent of the Stars, she tells me that you're the only female drummer in Chautauqua County.
Well, I don't believe that I'm probably the only female drummer in Chautauqua County, but I'm definitely the most obnoxious one.
Oh, okay.
And I'm in a great band. Easy Street's a great band, and we perform a lot. So I probably am the only female drummer that gets out there as much.
Okay, because like I told you, I played with a great female drummer, Judy Vietz.
That's what you said.
And she was awesome. And if you're watching, Judy, it's time to dust off the drums to get back, all right?
Yes.
She watches the show from time to time.
Yes, yes.
But female drummers are hard to come by. I mean,
They
it's
are.
not
They're
typical.
hard. They are.
Typically, they're playing keyboard or singing.
Yeah.
But good for you. So what kind of drums you got?
Well, I have a six-piece Pearl.
Pearl? Okay.
Yeah,
Zildjian cymbals?
Sabians. I run Sabian cymbals.
Why not Zildjian?
Sabians, same quality, cheaper price. To be honest. And it's just it's a great time.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great time, and it's a great time to be in the county showing off music. Summertime, so lots of festivities going on in the summertime with music and stuff. And
This is right now. The season just started, isn't it?
It's here.
It's here.
It's here. It's right here upon us.
If you look in the newspapers, you'll see all the bands and all the ads for all the groups, and you can find music probably Wednesday through Sunday. I think I don't know about Monday and Tuesday, but usually I see starting Wednesday nights through. So it's a great place to be. So how'd you get into drumming?
Well, I knew I wanted to be a drummer. And when I was going to school, they had set instruments that they would.
You went to a very fine school.
I went to Ripley. Yeah, I went to Ripley.
Ripley Central School.
I went to Ripley High School when I was older. But I just knew I wanted to be a drummer. I knew it. So when they started passing out instruments, they passed me out a flute, and I threw a fit.
Pling.
And I said, I think I'm supposed to be a drummer. And they gave me the opportunity, and that's what I've done for the last almost 40 years.
So who do you emanate? Who's your
Buddy Rich.
Okay.
Buddy Rich has got to be one of the best drummers, and a lot of people don't know this, but Buddy Rich actually was doing a drum solo and had a heart attack during the drum solo, and he completed his drum solo. He stood up, he bowed, and fell to the floor. He didn't die, of course. He just had a heart attack.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know that.
And I think I saw him in a tape one time. He did a complete drum solo one-handed.
Yes.
Okay, so it was the same guy I was
Amazing.
thinking of. Yeah, amazing guy.
Amazing guy.
So good for you. So let's get back to Sandy now. So you're really a matchmaker.
I am a matchmaker.
I wrote that word down because I've worked with booking agents, and sometimes it was pretty good and sometimes it wasn't so good. And I think one of the reasons why people worry about booking agents, and I kind of alluded to the Elvis Presley thing, that's really a manager. You're not really their manager. You're really the go-between between the venue and the booking agent. The manager would take care of everyday details and pay and all that stuff. But where booking agents got in trouble with some of the venues is they would charge a bunch of money and would only give so much to the band, and they hyped the value up, and the bands found out, and then the bands went and undercut the agent, and that happened a lot over the years. So how does it work? How does a venue, let's just say a Legion Hall, let's make it up right now, Legion Hall, Acme Legion Hall calls you up and says, I want Easy Street. So how does it all go?
I contact them, Legion, we talk, and they tell me like what they want. They want Easy Street. I call Easy Street and see if they're available for that date. They say what price they want, being the venue. I go to Easy Street and said, would you play for this? That's one thing. I never make the decision for the band or any musician that I book, because I also book solo, duo, and trios, besides just bands. And it's their call. It's not my call. And I always leave it up to them. And they said, yes, we will play for this. And I, contact them and said yes, and I put them together. And the other thing that when I go out to sell a band or promote a band, or when I come out with my little sheets and said, this is who I have when I go to a new venue, because I pride myself on booking some of the best musicians in the area. I
feel pretty good about that.
I know, I really do. Because anybody can say they can play a guitar, but if you're not a very good singer,
they do say that.
They do say that, but you know what?
Do that.
Because I've had people send me CDs, tapes, and they said, "Look, we're really awesome," and they're not. And the CD's been great, and I've gone to hear them. I'm thinking, you don't sound anything like your CD, because anybody can fine tune anything today.
That's true.
But anyway, get off topic again. So then I tell the venue that if you don't believe that this band is as good as I tell you are, I have a money-back guarantee. I will pay the band, and a lot of the bands don't even know this. I will pay the band myself. It won't cost the venue a dime.
Wait a minute, Scrivens, are you listening? Good deal, huh? Me and you.
And it won't cost the venue a dime, and I will never bother them again. And I have never had to pay a band to this day.
So what's the formula that you're looking for in a band?
The formula, I look for the talent, the singing, the musical ability. And that's basically what I look for. I look for the quality of what they can bring to me that I can help. Like, I just had a phone call the other day from this young man in Fredonia, and he called himself a Hank Williams tribute singer. And I said, well, how long have you been doing this? He goes, well, I just started, and I love Hank Williams.
4 minutes ago, yeah.
And I said, well, that's really, I said, well, that's really great, but he said, somehow I got your name, and I said, well, that's really great. I said, but I have to tell you, I don't have a venue for that. I said, a lot of the venues I book want, unfortunately and fortunately, want cover songs. They don't want bands or musicians with original music, which is sad in a way, but it's also good in a way, because they want the people in the door to buy the drinks, to eat their food, and that's what this is all about. And that's the formula that I work with, where I'm working for the venue.
That's important people to know.
It is very important.
If you want to do original music, go to an open mic.
Right. But I do have some bands that
or
do play
become
original.
so big
that
do what you want.
You can do your own stuff.
But you know what?
Like 10,000 Maniacs or Bill Ward or some of the other folks. Yeah.
But I do feel comfortable to tell bands that do have original music today, try to slip one in once in a while. People won't know, and they will learn your music, and the more they learn your music, the more you can slip more in.
You know what I do is when I go out and play, I'll do that. I'll slip one in there, and then if they applaud, then I tell them, they don't say anything, I don't say anything.
No, but I think you should say, because you're very talented. And that's the other thing I tell the venues, when they say, well, I don't want to pay that for that, I can get somebody a little cheaper. And I said, you know what, I can't do what these people can do. I can't play a guitar. I can't play drums.
But you can sing.
I can sing.
Jim
I think I can sing.
Jim would never lie to me.
You're right. If you see me by the red light and I'm singing in the car, that's me. That is so me with it cranked right up. But I don't go into a venue and say, well, I only want to pay I don't want to pay $19.95 for that steak dinner. I only pay $10.95 for that steak dinner.
Yeah.
It does. So there's got to be a balance. But a lot of all the venues that I work with understand the value of what they're bringing to their venue. They want good music. They want to get people to come listen to them. So I'm here to also get people. on my Facebook page, I promote people to come out, get out. Don't, even though they're getting older, and try to get my friends out, and they go, well, we're in our pajamas on Friday night at 7 o'clock. I'm like, really?
Watching Mysteries at the Museum.
I said, really? And some of my friends said, Sandy, you used up all your cards. We don't want to go anymore. And I said, really? So I'm always looking for other people to go with me and introduce them to new musicians, because I'm always looking for new bands. Because bands disband. There's things that happen,
I've been in 11 different groups.
Yeah,
over the years.
Wow.
Absolutely. People say, can't keep a job. I go, well, no, I've been playing so long. They died or they moved on.
That's right.
I've been playing since I was 15.
Wow.
I told you how old I was.
That's right.
48 years.
That's right.
That's what I tell people. I've been playing longer than you've been alive.
That's right. That's so true.
Oh, my God. Stephanie, question for you, musician and all. How important is stage presence?
It's just as important as the quality of your music, I believe. I mean, there's two important things in live music. That's the performance of the song that you're doing, and the performance of the energy you bring out while you're doing the song. There's a lot of people that can go sing a song and it's phenomenally great, but if they don't have a stage presence, if they don't have an energy that's going to the people that are listening, if they don't have a connection to the fans that are listening, that come out to hear you, then it's not a good song. Even though you did it perfect, it's just not a good song.
Absolutely. You have to have personality, and you don't have to be bubbling over, but you got to connect to the audience.
You have to have a connection with people. That's a very, very important, just important as the quality of the music. A lot of musicians, unfortunately, they want to play it note for note, or they want to get it exactly what it's on the radio. Well, what it is, live music. What live music is an energy. It's a familiar song. Playing covers. It's a familiar song that people hear on the radio that make them feel good. But when they go hear it, when they hear it in a car, it's like, oh, I feel good. When they go hear it live, they want to see the performance.
They want to hear the cymbal. They want to hear the brushstroke. They want to hear the bass in their chest. They want to watch whatever's going on. It's just energy coming at them.
That's what it is. Exactly.
How do you coach your new bands? As far as, I mean, there's a system,
right? But it's not. I don't coach them. I mean,
you must give them feedback.
When I first, she certainly
tells us.
Well, when I first started doing this, I was by myself, and it was a venue for me to get out again, for me to socialize and get out. And when I would go to listen to the bands, they were like nervous, and they said, "Well, why are you here?" And I said, "Because I like music, and I like the venues," and I said, I like you guys. That's why I'm booking you. I said, I'm here to support you. And that was the strangest thing to have every musician or band, because they were like nervous, and they're like, you're not going to tell us what to do, are you? I said, absolutely not. I said, I am not here to tell you what to sing. When I do go to venues, the only thing I will tell them is if they tell me they're a little too loud, they can't take drink orders, I'll go up and tell them, please can you turn down a little bit? Or if somebody's birthday in the house, or if somebody wants to hear a special song, it's their anniversary. But I really don't tell them. I sit back and enjoy the night. I also do a lot of promoting the night. A lot of people think, they said, Sandy, you've got the best job in the world. You get to go out, you have a couple drinks, you eat, you dance. And I said, but I'm also there to promote. I said, I'm there to promote. And I like to promote everybody that I book. At the venue, they see me come and eat and drink, and I also support the band members and the musicians that I book. And I think that's the biggest part about being a booking agent, that I support everybody. And I support people that I don't book also. Because the sad part in our area, there are not enough venues for everybody.
Correct.
And it's so sad for me to tell people that I can't take any more on, because there just aren't. I wish I lived in a big city, because I love what I do. I absolutely love it.
And you're good at it.
So
thanks.
There is a set number of venues, and Chautauqua County, in my mind, has a certain flavor to it. Okay, you said country and rock, and cover rock and stuff like that. That's a little different than if you go into like inner city Buffalo, or if you go to Pittsburgh. They may not want to hear the country music. Okay, but in Chautauqua County that works. So what kind of bands do you book?
I do have a band that plays all original music. I do. I don't know if I'm allowed to say
you can tell their names.
I booked the Bogarts.
All right, watch this.
Shout out to the Bogarts.
I like the Beatles.
Yeah, shout out to the Bogarts.
I'll promote the Beatles.
I don't book them a lot, but they're great guys.
Yeah,
who's that? No,
the Bogarts.
Oh, I know them.
Yeah,
There's Chris and Sean.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, Chris Passamani and Chris Ramaker.
Warren Cisco plays in there.
Warren Cisco's
phenomenal. He plays in there once in a while.
Yep. great guys. They were one of the earlier bands I first started working with, and I love their music. But original music isn't for everybody, you know. And they stay to their guns. They, I think, only play 3 covers, and they do only original music. And good for them. It's hard.
But people that listen to their music, if they give it a chance, they love it. That's the problem with original music, is that some people don't give it a chance. They want to hear what they want.
Well, it's like listening to the new song on the radio. But after a while, you know, get used to it. No, now I know that. Oh, I got a question here. If you had a venue, new or old, how would you go about looking for bands in general? So if you had a new venue that calls you up, how would you go looking for a band to fill that? Or
that's up to the venue. Like when I go meet with them, they say, Sandy, you know, I really want a country band, or I'd like a rock band, or I want a southern rock band or whatever, and you know, this is my budget. What can you help me work with? And that's what I do. You know, and I'll go to the musician or to the bands, whatever, and say, you know, this is what they have to work with. Can you work within this budget? You know, and they may say, you know, first time in, yeah, we'll do that for less. That's not what we usually would play for, but we'll do that for them. And so that's the other thing I was going to tell you about booking agents. People think that I charge a lot more, that I am in control of the price, and that is this total misconception that I usually work with the bands to get them to work for less. You know, that's why a lot of places don't want to work with a booking agent, because they think I am adding so much more onto the band's price.
It ain't that much more.
And I just heard that last week. Somebody said that to me, and I was like shocked, and I said, oh no. I said, that's absolutely not true. I said, I tried to negotiate them to get them to work for less money with the venue. You know, if I get them
to
like
mix
more
us.
gigs, to mix you together.
To mix us together,
and,
to get the
and
connection.
a lot of venues don't know that I'm also getting them to work for less. So, because it's tough here. The economy here is not the greatest, you know.
You're like the great negotiator.
I am. I think I am the negotiator.
You should be selling hotel rooms or airlines or something.
I think I am the negotiator.
All right, there. You and what's his name there? Okay.
So the venue makes the call what the kind of music they want.
Okay.
You know, whether it's solo, duo, band. You know, they tell me what kind of genre they're looking for.
Okay, so, and I know this is a business question, and you can answer any way, but I'm assuming that, let's say there's a pile of money that this venue, this Legion Hall, whatever, will pay, and you take a certain percentage off the top of that? Or, okay.
The band pays me.
Right.
The band pays me.
And that's how business is done in the real world, okay? And it's always been that way.
She saves us from calling venues. She saves us from when we don't have a lot of time to trying to get into a venue or trying to sell ourselves to a venue. We don't have to do that. We can just sit back and focus on the music and what we want to do. And our agent, she finds the venues for us to work.
And I'll tell you why that's important to have an agent, okay? Because, okay, we have a phone call in a minute. I'll be with you in a minute. We would book ourselves, and we would do the old tape thing, and we play the tape, and they go, oh, you sound really good. And then when we show up, we play exactly like the tape, and realize we weren't honky-tonk, we were country. We weren't, you know, Hank Williams, we were Alabama, Willie Nelson style, or we were doing cover 50 stuff, or we were doing Rolling Stone, whatever it was at the time. And so you can really get yourself in a big mess with the owner at the end of the night when they don't want to pay you because you weren't who they thought you were.
If they wanted you to play this and you played that, or it came off like that.
Or they don't know anything about music, and they think they do, and you walk in there with your cowboy hats on, and they wanted, you know, 50s or
That's
something.
like the Blues Brothers movie.
Exactly, yes!
Right.
Yeah, you walk into the bar, and it's all these rednecks, and I've been in bars like that over the years. I played at Chippewa Street once, and it was raided.
Really? Wow.
While you were playing?
While we were playing.
Outstanding.
Cops were raided. They come charging in the room. I'm standing on stage, and I'm like, I'm 19 years old. I'm going to die. And they said, is this so-and-so bar? And I go, no. Oh, and then
wrong bar.
They went across the wrong bar. They went across the street, and they raided that bar.
Raided the wrong bar.
That was the days of my dad. My uncle would show up. My uncle packed a gun to protect us.
Yeah.
Crazy stories. We got a caller. Good morning, caller.
Well, good morning, Doc. Good morning, Sandy and Stephanie. Happy birthday, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Oh, it's Linda Spalding.
I wanted to ask you, you said Doc, you played on Chippewa Street? Was this in Buffalo?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It was called Ciro's Bar. This is a true story. Honestly, I'm not making this up. So our lead singer he didn't tell his parents, who were very, very proper, and where we were going. He told them that we went to St. Cyril's CYO.
Oh, my.
My cousin was a drummer, and he was underage, and so in order to keep him out of the bar, we made him sit in the front window, so technically he was outside.
Oh, jeez. Love it.
Well, I don't know if I should say this on the air.
Go ahead. Please tell me you didn't work Chippewa Street.
No. Wall Street for years had a reputation.
Yes, it did.
And people who lived in Buffalo know all about it. But when they started to renovate it and straighten it up and clean it up,
it's great down there now.
They wanted to name Chippewa Street Griffin Avenue after Jimmy Griffin, the mayor at
the old mayor, yeah.
And you know what he said?
I can't imagine.
He didn't want to destroy the historical value.
It sounds like him. I used to listen to him on the radio.
That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome.
So what's going on, Linda?
Well, I just wanted to say that we have a lot of events going on at the Office for the Aging and with the Senior Employment Program. We do have openings coming up. If people are interested, they should call my office. We have the free computer training in Dunkirk, Brockton, Westfield, and Jamestown, and that's for basic intro level computer training.
Great.
And the number to call is 753-4471, and it's on the screen.
There it is. So what are you doing for Memorial Day?
Oh, there's a lot of people here. A lot of old friends have come back, and my son Steve is coming. So it should be a very nice, enjoyable weekend. The weather's supposed to be great.
Hey, do your grandkids need a booking agent, talent agent of the stars?
I don't think so.
Do you know who her grandson
do.
is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So Nick doesn't need an agent.
Mr. Spalding
He's
was
doing
my,
okay for himself.
Mr. Spalding was
doing very well for himself.
I went to school with Mr. Spalding's kids. Scott Spalding was in my class. Mr. Spalding was my English teacher.
Yeah, I
know the
was
family
just gonna
well.
say,
Why am I even talking? You two go ahead. I'll just sit back here.
Doug has taught everybody in Mayville.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Okay. Well, Linda, thanks for calling as always. And I do appreciate you letting us know what's going on in your office. And I want to plug the New York State Connects number. Marianne talked about it last week. I did call on for my dad. We were talking about medical alert systems and stuff like that. And they were very, very helpful. They were able to give me some information. So, folks, if you need help or you want to know more information about things, call these numbers that we pop up there.
Yeah, it's a great service. I did want to say also, Sandy, that I think it's really great that you're doing this service for the community as a booking person.
Well,
thank you very much.
We need live music around here.
Absolutely.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Lynn, you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you all next time.
You too. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Small world, huh?
Small world.
Holy mackerel. Yeah, I think Nick's doing okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think he's doing, he doesn't need my help. Yeah.
He's doing very well.
Okay, but if he needs it, Nick, if you're watching, if you need some help, tell Agent of the Stars. Okay. You said solo, duo, trios, and all that sort of thing. Where do you book them?
Same places I book the bands. I book at restaurants. I book at winery. I've booked at clubs. Any bars. Anybody that needs lounges. Anybody that needs music.
Okay.
There's nothing. There's no place that I won't go to book a band.
You know, I think there's something that's been going on lately since we've had a lot of these new wineries popping up all over the place, and they're having these little festivals or whatever you want to call
Open
them.
houses.
Yeah, and I see they're having more and more bands and that sort of thing. So, tell me about Easy Street since she's here. Let's give her a big head. What?
I don't have to help give Stephanie a big head.
If we go see Easy Street, what will we see besides Stephanie hitting the skins here?
In my opinion, and which is, I'll give you my honest opinion. I'm a straight
Please
shooter.
do, as opposed to
I'm
your
a straight shooter.
Yeah.
And venue owners ask me that too. They go, well, tell me about this band, and I'll give them my honest opinion. Right away when I met Easy Street, the first person that stood out to me was the female lead singer, which is Katie.
Katie.
I don't know her name either, guys, so I can't help you.
Katie Krupieski.
Easy for you to say.
Katie Krupieski.
I say it wrong every time.
Yeah.
And I think, hands down, she's one of the best female singers I've ever heard in the area. She's a music teacher in Erie. Then Rob is the other co-lead.
Rob Vance.
Rob Vance
Yep,
is a
Rob
co-lead
Vance.
singer. And Tony Flaminio joined the band, was it a year ago?
About a year ago, he brought the fiddle and the
mandolin, guitar, harmonica, and I tell him every gig, after every gig, I say, Tony, is he from Ripley too?
He's, you know, he's originally from that area. He's from that area.
And I tell Tony, I said, you bring so much to this band, like so much, every time. And he's like, oh, Sandy. And I said, no, seriously. If you can hear somebody play, you know, mandolin, fiddle, guitar, harmonica.
He's a music store.
He is.
At the gigs.
Phenomenal.
And he's not bad to look at.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we got Johnny, the newest young guy in the band. And
our bass player.
Yeah, he's very shy. So I always like to kid around with everybody too. So I always said, Johnny, when I first met him, I said, Johnny, you got to work it. And he looked at me like, I said, work it, Johnny. So that's how.
Him and Tony kind of came in. Tony came in first. We did a little bit of regrouping, and Tony and Johnny came in kind of together. But they were a good mix with Easy Street.
Good.
And we meshed right in there.
That's important.
Yeah, we meshed right in.
And then there was Stephanie, the drummer. Stephanie is I call her the Energizer Bunny of Easy Street. And everywhere the band plays, I sit back and just always observe. And everybody gravitates towards Stephanie because she is so high energy. And she's the one in the band where she interacts with the crowd. You know, she's like the spokesperson that connects with the crowd. Yeah. And they're just, besides their musical talent, they are just enjoyable to watch. They really get everybody involved.
Great. And we play everything. We're a country band. We're a high-energy country band that plays in newer country. We focus on that, but we're not shy, and we will throw in some classic rock and a little bit of blues, a little AC/DC, and not a lot of country bands do that, but we like to put on a whole show for people.
Perfect.
And we love the venues we play at. We've never had a problem.
Sandy, if a band or a venue wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
They can call me at 716-269-4899. Or they can get a hold of me at Raynors, RAYNORS 75@hotmail.com.
Okay. Great.
Or they can ask another local musician in the area to get a hold of me.
Awesome. People are sitting there and they're going like, well, how much does it cost for this or that? Do you ever give a price range? I mean, let me ask you this question. I know $1 is the bottom. So, I mean, how much does, in general, if you booked a band 4 hours somewhere, I mean, are we talking $1,000? Are we talking $2,000? Are we talking $500? I mean, I have no idea what the range is anymore. And you don't, no one's going to hold you to it, but like average, what would a band for 4 hours?
Average, I would say a band that I book, I've got bands that would play for 4 hours, anywhere from, and I'm talking a full band,
right,
anywhere from $500 to $1,200.
I got to raise my rates.
Yeah. Well, are you talking a full band? I'm talking 4, 5, 6-piece band.
I'm talking me.
You? Oh, well, solo. That's you're down. We got to come down a little bit.
Solo and duets are a little different.
Yeah, that's a little different. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm just playing. I waive my $5,000 fee as a rule. I got to wrap up. Sandy and Stephanie, it's been very pleasurable to have you here today. And Stephanie, I'm going to let you say a couple words. It's your birthday, and then Sandy, you can say whatever you want to say because we only got a minute and 9 seconds.
Doc, thanks for having me.
Where are you playing tonight?
We're not. It's my birthday, so I'm going to actually be at Webb's listening to Katie.
When do you play
Bob.
next?
We play next week at Peak and Peak.
Okay. And Sandy, one more time, how they get a hold of you? And what would you like
716-269-4899. Don't be afraid to call me. I really
Weddings,
easy to get along with. Weddings, anything. I do it all.
Festivals.
But the biggest message I would like to get out is please support these venues that are booking our local musicians.
Come out and see us.
Because it's free. It doesn't. No one's charging cover charge anymore.
Right.
Yeah, not very often.
But you know, keep music alive in Chautauqua County.
Absolutely.
That's my motto.
All right, and we got the infinity programs feeding new musicians all the time.
Support
so you got a whole crop coming up too.
I do. I support that. When they do their music night where you go listen to all the bands.
I play
all day
those.
long,
Yeah.
I go all the time. You get a $10 band.
Yep.
And
That's coming up in September.
Whole new generation for you to book.
I played there 3 times. I'll be playing solo this year. So, well, folks, you've been watching Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels. My guests have been Sandy Raynor and Stephanie Stanford. Y'all have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Be safe, drive safe, and drink safe. And we'll see you all again next Saturday morning. Meanwhile, go check out some of these bands and have a listen. Take care.